Coach, first of all, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and your family. Let's talk a little bit about last week's game. And obviously, your defense needs to make a play. Make sure you keep this game in check and you come up with a big defensive play in the second quarter, getting a sack with the Cowboys threatening in the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. So we knew defense was going to be a key part of any game, but especially this game with an explosive offense like the Cowboys had. And a key part to that is putting pressure on the quarterback. So you talk about Dak. He's a guy that if you give him time back there, he'll sit back there very comfortably and let the receivers keep working to get open and clearing the space. Now, in the red zone, as talked before, with reduced space, the quarterback scramble becomes a huge element of the play down there. And you got to make sure you keep him in the pocket, limited time to throw, make sure he has to get the ball out, and you got to get pressure on him. Now, this was an opportunity right here. It's 3rd and 4. Had to get off the field right here at the end of the half, hold them to a field goal at this point. And really, once you get inside that 20-yard line, you're really just conceding with the NFL percentage. You're saying, we're giving up the field goal here. We're playing for everything but the field goal. We're stopping the touchdown, get them off. And if you get an opportunity on that 4th down opportunity to go ahead and get a hand on the field goal, you've done that. But the priority right now is stop the touchdown, force them to 3 points right here. So we're in the mix right now. All right, we're going to run a blitz. So we're talking about rushing 6 to possibly 7 players based on how they protect it. And really, their formation and their protection will dictate how many guys come. There's also a few change-ups in this we'll talk about. Now, we're going to start with the back end, talk about how it ties together with the pressure up front from this level here and how they're going to play it. Now, when you rush a max blitz, 6 to 7 players, what you're really saying is on the back end, you're counting on this ball has to come out very quickly. He's not going to have time to sit back there, and the receivers aren't going to have time for double moves or get open. And when you're talking to your defensive backs, you'll see in this clip is your vision is on the quarterback. You have match rules for who you're playing over in terms of alignment of the receiver. You're playing match principles on the receivers, but your vision and eyes are on the quarterback. And when that ball comes out, you trigger and you tackle. And it's an opportunity to be aggressive. And really, everybody on the back end is relying on the front to do their job and put pressure on the quarterback. Now, we're just going to watch this real quick in terms of seeing the pressure. When the ball turns over, you can see the players get on them very fast. And we're bringing more than they can protect. So we know there's at least one free runner that's going to speed up his operation. Now, right now, as you freeze it, you can see all across the board, not only the matches on the receivers, but also the vision on the quarterback and waiting for that ball to come out. And once that ball gets ready to be triggered, they're going to break. Their job is simple. Break on the quarterback's throw. We're telling them if it gets thrown over your head, in this instance, on this call, that's really the fault of the front because someone's got to be coming free. They got to secure the sack and get them on the ground before it can be a deep pass down the field. The timing of the element is really the biggest part right here. Now, we end up getting them on the ground with the sack. It ends up being a tougher field goal for them to kick right there. All right, so here on the back end shot right here. And again, it's all about bringing more than they can protect. So as we line up, we've got our 4 down right here across the board. You got the linebackers in here mugged up, and it's going to be a really good example right here just watching BMAC of taking what they give you. And what we have principle-wise here is we don't want to run into a wall and just go ahead and get blocked. We know the ball's coming out fast. To take away some of his outlets, as they squeeze and shut that off by blocking BMAC, he does a good job of pulling right back out. His vision stays on the quarterback because his eyes are looking across the board this way. He's going to pull his zone over here, and that's really going to eliminate, Gallup and Schultz coming those crossing routes if that was going to be his quick outlet to make sure he gets it out before he gets hit. So we're going to have that extra player in that hole right there. Now, if he was free, he'd continue on and go sack the quarterback. What you see on the other side is they've got to choose who they're going to turn free as an offensive line. Again, we're going to bring 6 to possibly 7 based on how they protect it because they get a free release at the back. It ends up being 6. But it's 6 versus 5. As you watch the protection right here, they pick 1, 2, 3, and really these 2 over here, they should have been at 4 and 5, and Quincy should have been the free guy right there, but they squeeze it. There's a little bit of miscommunication, and again, when you get guys like BMAC and Dex going inside, sometimes that fogs the vision of how they're going to protect it right there, and someone's going to come free. In this instance, we end up getting 2 guys coming free. There's the pressure on the quarterback, and there's a couple fundamental aspects to finishing this play. Number one, accelerating through the sack and doing it with good control. The other part is you can't initiate the contact with the quarterback below the knee. That's a rule in the National Football League. It's a penalty. They're not going to let these guys, obviously the quarterbacks get hit below the knees right there. It's a safety issue, so it's a good job here of Quincy securing the sack with the contact above the waist. He then wraps and slides below the legs. And then you see Aziz come in from the next shot right here, and it's a good, strong wrap up top. So you really have 2 choices with Dak. It's 1, you can punch and try to disrupt the ball, or 2, and really most importantly in this instance here is wrap him up top to make sure he can't throw the ball. He's a big, strong quarterback. And if Aziz wasn't there and Quincy was just right there on his legs, he's the kind of quarterback that can flick this ball out, maybe have a completion coming that would trigger us to make the tackle and get him off the field right there, or just throw it away and avoid the sack. So in terms of how the pieces all play together, it's the coverage on the back end, relying on the front to trigger and tackle the quarterback. It's the front looking to get home. It's the understanding of if I'm free, I rush. If I'm blocked, I pull out right there to play the hole and play the zone, be an extra cover guy. It's having awareness of who's blocking me. Is the back pulling me out into coverage? As you see Julian right here, there could have been an opportunity here for Julian to add in as well if the back stepped up and blocked and create one more added rusher in there. But it was good coordination, all right, in terms of the rush coming together there, 2 free runners. There's B-Mac jumping out the extra coverage guy. And if he were to throw the ball, we've got vision and eyes on the receivers that now we've got to break, tackle, and get off the field.
And, Coach, when you first started this, you said the scramble is the biggest threat down here in the red zone. So when you're not giving away any of your methods, but the key is you don't want the quarterback to escape outside. No matter what, however you scheme it up, you don't want that quarterback to escape outside. So stepping up is not a bad thing because his eyes have to come down to look for a place to scramble. Is that correct?
100%, 100%. And we talk about the broken pocket plays, making sure we have contain on it. You talk about Dak. Now, he's one of the few quarterbacks that throws very well to his right and his left. Some quarterbacks are very heavily right-handed, and you want to make sure you always have some kind of force or contain in his face so they can't go ahead and escape to their hand side, which is an easier throw. There's some guys, like a Kyler Murray, who actually throws better going opposite his hand. You just got to know tendency-wise going into the game of how these guys escape and make their plays. But when you talk about a guy like Dak, for us, it's you can't let him sit back there comfortably. You got to find a way to get pressure on him. And coverage-wise, you have to understand that it's supposed to come out fast, but if he breaks that pocket scrambles, you got to plaster, cover, and go all the way through the whistle.
So, Coach, we come to the third quarter. You have the ball first to start the third quarter. You got to make a decision. It's 4th and 1. Ball's at your 34-yard line. You decide to go for it, and it pays dividends with Devontae Booker.
Right. So we decided to go for it in this instance, but, you know, we really try to hedge our bets a little bit as a coaching staff. And we talk about these situations on a 4th down, go for it. We're really looking for a couple looks. And we go in with the game plan based on personnel packages, how they play and how they may line up formationally. We're really looking for things that play to our favor. So we're not just purely rolling the dice, going out there and saying, hey, let's go for it and try to ram it up in there. We're going on the field and we're saying, all right, we've got a yard to go. What's our short yardage plays we like? We call them. We know the looks that we're looking for, all right, as an offense. And if we get a favorable look, we snap the ball, we have to go execute. If we don't, there's ways we have to get out of it, either change the play and get to another play, or possibly go ahead and either call a timeout if you're in field goal range, or take a delay and punt the ball if that's what you choose to do as well. But we're going out there and trying to give our guys tools to be successful. We don't want to go out there and just say it's 50-50. We want to make sure we skew it as much in our favor as possible. So we end up getting a look in this instance right here. Mike does a good job keeping us in the right play. All right, we end up getting what we saw as a soft edge right here by Dallas, and it's a good job right here by Mike checking into it, keeping the play on, keeping it live, and with, you know, less than a yard to go right here, it was an opportunity to get it, get us on an edge. And the scheme right here was just essentially just get the run back, whether it's Book or Saquon or whoever was in the game at the time, just get these guys started, see if we can't get something seal down block, bring a kick out from the inside, give them a crease, and for 1 yard, really create more of that glancing blow that if someone comes inside out free, which with these blocking schemes, you're going to get someone scraping over the top in short yardage, that when they hit you, it's not necessarily a head-on hit where you've got to go ahead and just displace them and move it, but you want more of that glancing blow. They've got to hit you on an angle and you can still carry your body weight across and get the first down. So we're trying to look for every advantage we can get as an offense to go ahead and ensure that it's going to be a successful play. So we'll look at it from the side right here and we'll hit it from the back as far as the blocking scheme. So you see Shep right here going on the fast motion. What that ends up doing is just gives us a little bit of help in terms of creating some blocking angles. You see Van Der Esch and those guys bump on over a little bit, and that helps our offensive line with the down blocks inside. But you see the 2 key blocks right here. It's going to be Slayton sealing the edge, and then Skura kicking out right here. And there's going to be just a good open seam right here for Book, and he does a nice job of getting vertical. He's now in space, does a good job right there working the stiff arm. And again, we talk about location, timing, and force. Talk about a stiff arm location. You want to hit, you know, that upper chest to in the face mask, and you can't grab and control the face mask. You've got to kind of open hand punch it and then remove it. All right, we talk about the timing. All right, which is when you can reach out and touch them, then you want to go ahead and initiate the contact. You don't want to leave your arm out there early that they can defeat the stiff arm, or hit it too late that they're already in there wrapping you up. And we talk about force. And when you do it, this isn't just badgering. You're really looking to go ahead and deliver a punch and separate and remove that guy from having the opportunity to tackle you right here. And what ends up putting him into is, as he slides off Book, he ends up getting that horse collar tackle right here where you can see the tackle from inside the collar. It used to be just directly behind. They now extended that rule to be aimed from the side or behind the horse collar. And that's really been put in for player safety that, as you see here at the end of play, when Book gets rolled up right there, there were some knee injuries and ankle injuries, you know, back in the early 2000s. They changed that rule add some penalty yardage to it, and we've got to be aware. So it's legal to horse collar tackle inside the pocket or inside the tackles, whether it's a quarterback or a running back, doesn't matter. But once they break outside that position right there, you've got to tackle them with a good wrap. You can't horse collar and drag them down. So that part of the rule being explained, it gives us some good yardage. We get some bonus yardage on the back end right there awarded from the penalty. And then as you look at it from the back end right here, again, we're looking at what we're looking for right here. Again, they're getting that kind of 5 down look where they're covering all of our linemen right here, that bear type look. And then we're going to talk with Booker as far as just getting that edge, getting away, all right, from them big guys inside who are really looking to go ahead, puncture, penetrate, and take away the direct run in there. Give us an opportunity to get it on the edge. You see Shep, again, just this quick motion going across. It's just going to change the alignment of the down safety and the linebackers and give us favorable angles outside in to pin them. All right, and really a couple key blocks right here. Evan Ingram on the edge right here really does a good job, not just getting the contact, but the hat placement right there to hit it and sustain and not allow a quick fold over to cut that edge back off. A lot of defensive ends in this instance, what you get is a spin move rolling back out. Once they spin, they reestablish the leverage and they can work vertical with continued motion and take you out of your play. Now, Slayton does a really nice job right here. You know, the defender sees it. He starts reacting back out. So instead of just taking a direct angle here, Slayton has to adjust his angle, maintain his hat placement, and then move his feet. And these are 2 blocks you'll be very conscious about: hand placement and foot movement. Because once you get outside the perimeter of that box, if your hands are anywhere outside or they see any kind of a restriction with you grabbing cloth or preventing him from getting outside your body frame, once, as they say, your feet are beat, all right, then they're looking to go ahead and throw that 10-yard flag for the hold and bring it all back and put us in more of a punting situation. So you watch Slayton right here on the adjustment. It's a good job adjusting, and then again, he steps in, good fit up inside, good hat placement, keeps his feet moving, and then Matt in this instance here is just running tight inside out. You see Diggs coming up to support it right there. He does a good job, all right, just using his size and momentum to take out the smaller corner, and that's a matchup you got to take advantage of right there as an offensive lineman. And then Book right here, it's just go ahead, stick your foot in the ground, get vertical right there, and then it's open field run to make sure you extend it. So 4th and 1 became a big chunk gain for us as a team through execution, all right, of that toss crack play.
Coach, it's a little thing, but just the fact that with Slay and Skur both at an intersect point, they didn't run into each other, they gave each other enough room, and everybody got to block. It wasn't a big pileup.
Yeah, and really, as you
Like,
talk
if you
about
see
it,
them right there, they're like at the same level.
yeah, and Matt does a nice job of really recognizing where Slayton is, knowing where the force is coming down, and he really does a nice job of avoiding Slayton right there, that we don't have, you know, kind of that, you know, collision knocking each other off and then having that free defender coming up to set the edge. And again, you knew there was going to be some scrape over inside out. Booker was going to have to hit that kind of glance and blow, as we said. But really, because of the angle that Darius holds his block at, it really flushes the defense that Van Der Esch gets tied up on it right there. Book can go ahead and split it going vertical, and that ends up being a big gain for us.
Yeah, Coach, just one more thing. That when you showed Shepard in that fast motion, Van Der Esch, you're looking at it right here, it's one step. And that one step at the back end of the play as you run through it forces him to kind of get picked off, as opposed to maybe he comes underneath if he doesn't take that false step, and maybe he makes the play for a loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you can always say, well, why does he move on over? Well, he has to for leverage on the defense, because there's really nothing at this point right here saying that we can't hand that ball off to Shep and get the quick sweep on the edge. And at that point, he's running inside out for the other side to make sure. And you see Curse bumping out here as well, that if Shep gets the ball, he's got to make sure he has leverage on the run, as well as if the pass is going quick to the flat, he's got to be able to play that as well. So they've got to play just with base defensive leverage rules. It sets us up, like you said, it puts them a step behind and gives a little bit of advantages. All those little details that come together to give you an opportunity to have success on a play like this.
All right, Coach, 4th quarter, still time left in the game, and the game's still within reach, but you need your defense to make a play, and Lorenzo Carter, who had a fantastic game, makes a play for you to give the offense the ball back.
Yeah, this is absolutely an opportunity that was created. We have to capitalize on better as a team. But the defense went out there, kept fighting. They took the field the right way with the right manner, and they went out there and made a play. And it's an example of a couple of things that tie together. One, we're going to talk about Zoe, as he retraces and has a strip sack on Dak, and how that really ties into the fundamentals. That's actually something we start every practice with a turnover circuit, and it's the exact drill we work in practice that shows up on the field. And the other one's going to be, I'm going to highlight Jaron Williams right here. He's a young player, came up the practice squad for us, been doing a good job for us, making some plays for us lately. But he's a guy that does just a small thing right here that takes away the opportunity for a big play by the Cowboys and really saves, all right, a chance for us to make a play and then create a turnover right here defensively. So this is going to be just off some, boot action right here, and this is going to be just a fire zone for us. So we got really 3 deep, 2 under right here as we're playing. We're going to bring 5 up front. And as you watch it, All right, the 3 deep players are going to be Jaron, Logan, and then Brad outside. And these guys had those 3 deep third responsibilities underneath. We're really looking to play aggressively against the run early on right here. And then we've got the 2 underneath hook players. Now, what happens on this action here is it's all about the team reacting. And the first thing they're playing for up front is the run. And with these boot actions, we talk about panic drops or robot. What we mean by that is once you get sucked up at this linebacker level, once you know it's pass, you've got to, in a panic, look back and retrace and find the guys coming across your zones. Now, it's a good look right here on the back end of the perimeter, all right, in terms of how it ties together. We're going to talk about these third players. And Jaron's got this deep third right here. Well, when his man goes under right now and vacates his zone, he's not going to just sit here and cover grass. And what he does a good job of recognizing is they're really trying to set up this boot going out this way for the throwback coming back across the field right here and getting Logan. You see Logan going to match the deep play. He goes ahead and speed turns back, but there comes that deep over shot, and they're going to look to get Dak out here and throw that ball all the way across the field, hoping that we play squeeze underneath or play with bad fundamentals and not getting depth. Jaron does a really nice job right here that once he recognizes his man's under, you see him sink right here, and that vision right there, you see Dak just pulls up enough. He sees him in his line of vision right here that he's bailing to take away that deep throw. That removes him from getting that quick ball out, and that buys just that extra step for Zoe to get home and make that sack. So just that little recognition of seeing my man under, all right, getting on back, cutting the deep over right there, working with Logan here to take away that opportunity. That's what creates this part of the shot right here for the tackle. And again, you see the rest of the underneath of the other receivers that are coming into his vision. Again, Tay's gone ahead in his panic drop right here with BMAC, taking away the underneath drops right there. And then you see Zay sitting right here in his hook zone. And you see those guys, how they plug together the 3 underneath. And it's a nice job right here. All right, I've not really given them an opportunity for the over because there's vision and break and vision and break. But this was really by Dallas, a one-shot home run type of hit. They took their swing. We had some guys react the right way and set up an opportunity. And we'll watch Zoe from the back end in terms of how he plays. All right, finishes out.
And Coach, on something like this, when you look at Zoe, it's as much about the effort as it is about the actual sack because he gets washed down. A lot of players will just kind of give it a little bit of effort just to show up on film, but he gave full effort to get back into play. And
he absolutely did.
That shouldn't be discounted.
And he played a good game for us the other day. And again, it's like you said, he actually starts the playoff right here taking the cheese. And there's the action. His first step takes him a little bit off angle. And now as Dak gets outside, there's that block to seal him. Now, he does a good job seeing it and retracing it. And really, in days of old, this would have been more of a kill shot. But with the rules in place now, any block in the backfield going parallel or back towards your own goal line, that's going to be a penalty right there for illegal crackback. All right, so actually they play it the right way, but because they can't make that block anymore, Zoe's able to aggressively retrace it. And again, this is really the turnover drill we do. You go across a simulated blocker, the first bag, and then you're going to go ahead in pursuit, and you're going to go ahead and finish on a secondary bag with this exact strip motion here. But just that chase right there, you can see Dak feels the heat and the pressure. He knows he's only got one quick look at it. He has no time to really let somebody else clear or get to a secondary read. And as he's looking back right there, here comes Zoe, and it's a really nice job, just the fundamentals of securing the tackle with the near hand and then attacking the ball with the offhand. Always recognizing the quarterback's broke the pocket, his eyes are downfield, that ball's going to be in a loose position because they're looking for that throw at that time. And you see him right here as his eyes are looking for that home run shot. Here comes the secure of the tackle. And there goes right there, the chop over top of the hand. And there's a couple other nice things right here is talking about the fumble recovery. It's eliminate the guys near you. So you see Brad right now at Gallup. He's taking his man out saying that ball may bounce a lot of different ways. I'm going to make sure he's eliminated from recovering that ball, and then I'll work my way on over. Now, we talked to Austin right here, and we talk about clear or cloudy. And we talk about right here, it's a little bit cloudy there with people around that ball. We just want to go ahead and get down on that ball right now. If it's clear, we'll look for the scoop and the score. But in this instance right here, we'll say, hey, big man, just get down on that ball. Austin's done a good job of covering balls in the pass for us. He gets on the second attempt right there and gets on it. We end up having guys cover him down in the pile right here with Tay and then Zoe to come back and make sure if it bumps out of there, we got guys to recover. But really at this point, they're just protecting Austin, make sure he comes out of that pile.
Coach, we appreciate a couple minutes as always. I know it's a hectic week with Christmas coming up, but thank you so much for the time, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
All right, Merry Christmas.